Hey guys, how's it going? It's Auret here. In this video, we're going to talk about and thoroughly break down how to communicate to your clients as a freelancer. I've been doing freelance design of worksheets, PDF forms, workbooks, media kits, anything that is a PDF basically I design. And I've been doing this for a couple years now, so I've literally designed hundreds of worksheets, PDFs, workbooks, and I've worked with a lot of clients. So in this video, I've broken down the most significant points that I believe has led to my success, has led to me landing the sale. And I primarily work on a site called Fiverr, so I provide freelance design work on Fiverr, and I am so proud to say that I have hundreds of clients with raving 5-star reviews, and I truly attribute it to the way you communicate with the client, because if you think about it, when someone messages you, when a potential client sends you a message, it entirely depends on what you say and how you say it. And that determines whether or not you will continue to work together or you make the sale. Now, typically when a potential client reaches out to you, the main things that they want to know, the main thing is if you can do the job, so if you're capable of actually doing the project that they need, how much it costs, and how fast you can get it done. So those are, I would say, in my experience, the three main things that they are looking for. And everything else is extra. So everything else meaning being able to work with you, you're a good fit to work together, your skill level, all of that stuff is extra on top of those three main things that they're looking for. So they're looking for, yes, I can do the job. They're looking for a good price, something that fits within their budget, and they are looking for it to be done within their turnaround time. Now, a lot of the clients I work with have deadlines for these types of design projects. It might be different in your case, but that's why that is one of the main factors. So first off, when someone is reaching out to you, they will typically outline the project at hand, what they need completed, or they will ask right off the bat for pricing. They'll say, this is what I need, what's your price? And most of the time when they do send that initial message, they don't necessarily outline all of the information up front. So it is up for you, it's up to you to do the digging, to ask the questions that you need to ask in order to really find out what this client needs and what type of work needs to be done on your part so that there's nothing vague about this project. When you have anything that is vague, then this is where problems arise. So you want to make it super clear, or you want to understand very clearly what the project is at hand so that you can price accordingly and also provide an accurate turnaround time for the project. So this means things like asking them if they have a deadline. Do they need to get it done by a certain date? What is the size of the project? So really find out. For me, it is asking how many pages do you need designed, and what exactly am I designing? What is involved in terms of design work? Is it just me putting text on a PDF and making it look pretty with your logo and branding? Or is it, am I designing diagrams? Do you need stock? Do you need me to find royalty-free stock photography to put in these PDFs for you? Do you need me to create tables, charts? What functions do you need out of this project? So, for example, if you're a web developer and you're doing freelance web design work, you really want to dig down. There's just so many things involved in web design that you really want to dig deep to find out what exactly does this client need from their website. So really find out all of these things up front, because you don't want to have a situation where you start working with the client, but then all of these things are coming up later. You're finding out, oh, they need it right away, or they need these extra functions. So it is going to be a better working relationship and experience for both parties if all expectations are defined up front. And that leads me to point number 2. So now that you've asked those questions and you've received the information that you need, so you know what to expect as the freelancer, you need to let them know what they can expect on their end out of this interaction. So when I communicate with my clients, after asking those questions and, really finding out all of the stuff that I need to find out, I send them a message, and it's usually, I wouldn't say it's a template, but it's structured fairly in a similar way across all clients that I communicate with. So in this message, I say, great, I can absolutely do this project for you. Thank you for all that information. I can do this for you for X amount of dollars, and I can get it done in X amount of days. This price includes 0.12345. And then at the end, I say, please let me know how to proceed. So let me show you an example of what I mean here. So this here is an example of that message that I was telling you about, where after I've learned everything I need to learn about the project, I say, great, thank you. I already have a vision for this. I state, I can offer to design the entire workbook for you for $145, can have it completed within this amount of days, and this price includes full design to your branding. You'll receive the editable file, you'll receive the PDF file, and unlimited revisions until you're 110% happy with the end product. Please let me know how you'd like to proceed. I can send over the custom offer, or you could say I can send over the invoice and get started on this right away for you. So there's a bunch of stuff in this message that empowers them as the client to say, this person's got me. This person gets the project. I feel good about working with them because they're making me feel confident because I know exactly what to expect out of this interaction. So you want to outline all of these things up front and make it super clear. Like I put here this turnaround time, and typically along with that turnaround time, I also state I can have it done for you within 5 to 7 days upon receiving all of your content. In this case with this client, she already sent me all of her stuff as we were talking about what the project is. So I already had that content, but if I didn't, I would say I can get this done for you within 5 to 7 days upon receiving your content, because again, it adds an element of vagueness. If the invoice is sent, it's paid, but you're stuck with not having everything to get started on the project for this client. So outlining everything that they can expect to receive and everything that the price includes up front is really, it increases their belief in you to get this job done and to get it done well and to meet their expectations. The third thing that I wanted to point out about communicating with your client, and you can see it in this message here, is that you want to really give your client, when you're communicating with them, a sense of confidence. Like you are confident as a freelance designer that you are capable of getting this job done. And there's many different ways you can say that. It's not so much in that you're giving them your skill level, these are my qualifications. It's not so much in that sense, but in a more personable sense, where you're saying I already have a vision for this. So it's almost like you're taking the project on as your own, as if this was something that needs to be designed for you, and because it's designed for you, you're taking it really, really seriously. You have a vision for it. You already have ideas. You're excited to work on it. All of these things, if you say them as you communicate with your client, really, really help. even something like this, and it depends on your work. I don't know if you can offer the same thing, but this line right here, I have had many clients tell me that this is the reason why they choose to work with me, is because I say this line, unlimited revisions until you're 110% happy, because that illustrates that I am confident in my abilities to make you happy as a customer. I know you will be happy with my design work. I know you will love it. And it doesn't matter how many revisions that takes, I will make sure to get it done. And I came up with that idea because I thought of myself as a consumer. When I'm buying something, I want to buy a good, great product, something that I'm extremely happy with. I don't want to purchase it and then have to pay extra to make it good, if you know what I mean. I just want to pay once, and everything's already included in that. If you want, you can say unlimited revisions, but maybe jack up your price a little bit more so it accounts for that. And honestly, if you are really confident in your work and your abilities, you know that it's not going to be 10 times back and forth with a client. It's going to maybe be once or twice or maybe 3 times back and forth to get it done right. Another thing that shows confidence here is the fact that I say, please let me know how you'd like to proceed. I can send over the invoice and get started right away. So again, you're motivated. You're showing motivation and excitement for this project, and that illustrates confidence. So those are 3 main things that you can start to apply to your communication with your clients. Making it super clear in terms of expectations, what you can expect on your end in terms of the scope of the project, the deadline, all that kind of stuff, and also what they can expect on their end. As a client, what do they receive? When will they receive it? How much will it cost? All that stuff. Now, there are also some extra communication pieces that really go a long way. The first one is timeliness. So how fast do you respond to your messages? How quickly, when someone sends you a message, how quickly do you respond back? This alone can make or break the transaction with the client, because they are likely messaging other freelancers that do similar work to you. Timeliness of your communication. Respond quickly to messages, and even during the process of a project, always keep in touch with the client. When I start a project with a client, when that order comes through, when they've paid, I will send them a message saying, thank you for your order, thank you for your payment. I am going to get started on this right away for you, and I will send you a sample within the next couple of days so you can, so I can gauge your feedback and make sure you're happy with the direction of the design. So again, I'm letting them know what to expect. They've just paid, and usually sometimes, not usually, after people pay, they're expecting, they're like, okay, I've put myself out on the line. Now I need to make sure this other person delivers. So by you just messaging them and saying, thank you, this is what, again, here's what to expect, it makes them feel at ease. The other thing that I will mention is that, and this is kind of an obvious thing, but it definitely goes without saying, to be personable, to be friendly, to be nice in your communication. I know that sounds like it's super obvious to be nice to your clients in your communication, but even though you may think you're being nice, it may not come across as that on the other end. And again, it depends on your form of communication, right? All of my communication with my clients is online. So it's just typing back and forth, right? I'm not seeing them face to face. Might be different with you, but without seeing facial expressions, without gauging body language, it all comes down to words. So if you are in the same boat, so if you also do a lot of freelance design work online for clients, you are going to need to have your that friendliness and that personality come across on the other end just through your words. So don't be afraid to like talk to clients as if they are already a friend. Don't try to be so like to have a front up or to be too professional. People want to do business with humans, with human beings, not with cyborgs. So make sure that you're super friendly. For me, that means saying, things like perfect, absolutely, I'm excited to start on this for you, and, using emojis here and there or exclamation marks. Again, that might not be your thing, and that's totally fine. And the last thing that I wanted to point out about communicating with your clients is you can be super nice, say everything right, say that you can do the project, have a fast turnaround time, all of these things. But at the end of the day, it just comes down to price. So if you have priced your work that is not within your client's budget, and they say that to you, then again, the way that you communicate with them matters here in this moment, because they might not have the budget for it now, but they'll want to come back to you. If you've provided such a good experience for them, even with just communication, and you haven't even done any design work for them, then they're going to want to come back to you when they do have the budget, or maybe for a future project. And I've had this happen many times to me. They really want to work with me just because of the way that we've been communicating back and forth before even starting a project. But they just didn't have the funds for it. So they came back at a later time and we started working together. So how do I communicate with my clients in that moment where they say, I don't have, that's not within my price range? You need to be ready to explain your pricing at any moment. So this is a moment where you might need to do that. So you might need to thoroughly explain your pricing, do a breakdown of exactly what that figure includes so that they understand how much work is involved and they understand how much time is involved as well. So you might need to actually explain a process. If that means explaining a process to them that you have to do, and that's the reason for the pricing, then do that. For example, I had someone who wanted me to design a worksheet, but they also wanted it to be fillable, electronically fillable, where clients can type into the worksheet. And that's something I provide. But those prices aren't listed on my page right off the bat. So they saw those prices, and then when I quoted them, they said, whoa, that's not what I expected. Not something I can do. I thoroughly explained that. I said, well, this is why I need to do this. It's because you want it to be electronically fillable and you have X number of pages. And in order for me to make it fillable, I need to put it into a separate software and create each of these fields manually. So it takes a lot of time. So I explained that to them, and that turns them into customers sometimes. They say, oh, okay, that makes sense. And we end up working together. Sometimes we don't, and that's fine. Even after explaining the pricing, you may come across people who they can't do it. It's not within their budget. So at that point, you don't want to just stop communicating altogether. You don't want to just see their message of it's not within my budget and just don't even respond. You also don't want to say, well, that's my price. You don't want to be rude in any sense. And you also don't want to just accommodate their budget just because to get the sale. I mean, that's a whole nother video, is pricing and how to price. And but you don't want to do work when you know it's a lot of work. You don't want to do the project if it's not within the price that you set, because you're not going to enjoy it. You're not going to put your all into it, because it's going to become this weight, like you're doing a lot of work and you're not being priced what you're worth. So when it really comes to this point, all you can say is, my pricing reflects the quality of my work, and I totally understand if you choose to go with another freelancer who is pricing within your budget. Be understanding of their situation. Understand where they're at and meet them there. And even though they might not be able to buy from you, buy your service at that moment, it might be later down the road that they will come back to you, just because of the way you communicated with them, just because of the relationship that you created in such a short time on the computer typing to each other. So these communication points go for absolutely like any freelance work, because you're communicating with clients. So it could go with if you're servicing clients locally, if you are doing freelance work over the phone, if you're exchanging emails, if you're working on another platform, not Fiverr, but another freelance platform. And these are some things that have really helped me create great and positive relationships with my customers, existing customers. If you think about it, there's a lot of other people already doing what it is that you do, right? There's a ton of freelancers out there, a ton. But it's because of, aside from your particular style of work, there are other people who do work way better than you. There is definitely always someone better out there who does better design work, but these clients are coming to you. So it's up to you to win them over with your communication and your personality. Don't be afraid to show your personality and talk to them like a friend. So I hope this video has been helpful for you guys. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you can continue to stay updated with these videos. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Bye.
Back from the dead.